of Finner Sipic. All of my trades are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. There's a position disclosure. It's the same as yesterday. I got into and out of Microsoft and Roku for some profit, but did not keep either of them overnight. Cool, so doing the opposite of what I did yesterday when I got focused on trading S after hours and had to start the meeting late. Today I've got a little bit of this path that I'm holding into this report, so I need to keep an eye on this one. But I can do it with you guys because I already did the disclosure, so we can kind of hang out together. Looks like Adobe is trading really decently on its report. Yeah, Adobe, pretty solid. Nice beat on EPS. Nice beat on Rev. Alright, so this path should be hitting here in 15 seconds or so. See what it can do. Pager duty's out also. Looks like a nice beat on EPS. Quick initial uptick. Not a lot to say if I'm offered higher than where it's currently trading, but what do we got here? Beat, beat, beat. Come on, let's go. A little more of an uptick than that, please. There we go. Yeah, no guidance yet, just an initial uptick. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. There we go, that's the uptick I really wanted to that price. I think the implied move here based on options is like $1.80. We're up a bit over $1 right now. Please, sir, I'd like some more. Boom, there we go. Again, unfortunately, I can't say if I'm buying or selling when I'm on YouTube. Compliance restricts that, so you guys just have to use your imagination. But, you know I was long going into it, and the numbers are going up, so just use your imagination. Come on. Oh, come on, don't give me the dark pool print at that price, because, you know, look at that. Throughprint, they, you know, may or may not have just throughprinted above my offer, which makes me furious, actually. Print 26 there, but somebody didn't get filled at a lower price than that. The throughprint was on ARCA. That person was, there was an offer on NASDAQ there at 24 cents. Quick downtick off that high too. That's frustrating. These numbers look great. This is like a few quarters in a row of great numbers from this U-path versus expectations. Company is profitable. You love to see it. Okay. I will keep an eye on this. And what does AFK stand for? There's resistance up here in this thing soon. Oh, thanks, Bill. I don't know all the lingo of these cool kids these days, man. All the acronyms. I would have to show you a market maker in order to kind of show it to you. There we go. But I need to keep this market maker up, so I can't really show it to you right now. But a throughprint, I can just tell you what it is. A throughprint is when, so Reg NMS, and everyone has to know this for the Series 57, Reg NMS dictates best price, best execution price, right? So if a stock had an inside offer of 50 cents and you did a market buy, you're supposed to get 50 cents. You're not supposed to get 52 cents. What about this? So you got all these different exchanges that you can route through. Let's say that there is a single offer of 100 shares at 50 cents on NASDAQ, and there is a worse offer at 52 cents on ARCA. And you decide to do a market buy, but you're routing it through ARCA. Should you get the worst price of 52 cents because that's the best price that's posted on ARCA, or is ARCA supposed to route your order to NASDAQ because NASDAQ actually has a better offer? What's supposed to happen is that you just did a market order through ARCA. ARCA looks at the market. They recognize that there's a better offer on NASDAQ. So ARCA takes your order and they route it over to NASDAQ. And then you get the better price. That, by the way, is also how high-frequency trading robots pick traders off based on speed, by the way, because they will see the order go to ARCA, see that there's a better offer on NASDAQ, and then beat the order to NASDAQ to get that better price so that you then get a worser price. That's not what a throughprint is. I'm digressing. Throughprints occasionally occur when the exchange or ECN fails to route the order to the better market. So in my example, if there's a 50 offer on NASDAQ and a 52 offer on ARCA, and you did a market buy on ARCA, you're supposed to get 50. But if ARCA fails to route it to NASDAQ where the better offer was, you will get 52. So what just happened in Path is that someone, we won't say who, was offered at 1624 on NASDAQ, but a throughprint went through to 1626 on ARCA. So someone was offered at a better price than the other someone that I'm talking about. Sorry, someone was offered at a worser price, and that person got filled than the person who was offered at the better price. And the person who got offered at the better price was upset by that. I hope that all makes sense. It'd be easier if I could bring over a market maker, but I've only got one right now in this setup, and I really need to be watching this stock to make sure that someone doesn't get ripped off on any pricing executions. You can see throughprints if you trade with sorry Gilbert, you can see throughprints if you trade with Lightspeed through us or one of our direct market access softwares. You can see the throughprints because they're highlighted. So if you watch this path that I have up right now, every time you see a highlighted red print or a highlighted green print, that's it. Those are throughprints. Highlighted red prints mean that someone hit the bid, but it wasn't the best bids. Highlighted green prints mean that someone took the offer, but it was through-printed away from above the best offer. They're just really annoying. They're particularly annoying. Technically, they're illegal, but there's millions and millions and millions of shares going off on all these stocks every day, so there's not going to be anything that ever happens about it. It's just like a technical glitch. It shouldn't happen. But where it's really frustrating is if you have a stop trigger on a throughprint. So usually you'll know if you had a stop trigger on a throughprint because you get price improved. If you had a sell stop at $16 and you got $16.05 as the price, that doesn't make any sense. But maybe there was a throughprint to $16, but then your execution was actually at best bid at that time. But it's annoying because you still got stopped out of the position when maybe it didn't actually mean to stop you out. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I try never to cough on the microphone. I'm sure that sounds terrible. So anyway, another insane day today. I'm gonna be off by 4:30 today to make sure that everybody can tune into the Conversations with a Pro Trader on LinkedIn, which is going to be Dan Darrow today. Dan Darrow, I don't know him super well. He's a very nice guy. He's been at T3 like as long as I have, approximately. I think we actually started at the same time. I think we both joined in 2010. He is primarily an options trader, so it should be an interesting conversation. He was in New York forever, going to the New York office, but moved out to California. But I'll leave it to him to tell his own story, especially because I don't know him super well. But he's a very, very nice guy. Anyway, let's take a look at let's take a look at markets. So SPY's closed down 0.7%, at least as of right now. Qs are up 0.5%. IWM is down 1.7%. That difference between the Qs and the IWM is once again massive. Thanks, Kyle. Qs and IWM, massive difference. IWM down 1.7% and Qs up 0.5%. The rotation into mega cap tech that we called for has been extremely impressive. Let's take a look at the daily charts. Then, if there's time, I'll take a quick look at the intraday. Good snapback off lows. Really good snapback off lows. We closed well. Some of that CS news in the afternoon helped. Today was a crazy day. We can look at the intraday chart in a minute if there's time, because I felt like there were multiple fake breakdowns in the market, multiple false breakdowns in the market today. And then eventually we broke up. And it kind of needed news for us to break up. I kept looking at these fake breakdowns in the market and being like, well, every time that happens, there's a higher probability that we actually break up, but then we could never break up. And then finally it happened. But at the end of the day here, we're closing around 389 for the SPYs. The ADMA is at 392, so we're $3 extended. It's a far cry from lows a couple days ago when we were $12 extended. The Qs is mind-blowing. If we have another strong day for the Qs tomorrow, the Qs are going to be extended to the upside, which is mind-blowing considering that the IWM, as of today's close, is still in like somewhat extreme territory on the downside. I usually consider, SPY's $10 plus of extension from the ADMA is getting extreme, and IWM $6 plus on away from the ADMA is starting to get extreme. Well, as of today's close, we're at 173.50 right now for the IWM with the ADMA just above 179. It's just mind-blowing to see that the IWM is at a level that is like so extreme where you want to be looking for counter-trend trading, whereas the Qs are borderline becoming extended to the upside. It's really, seriously, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. I don't recall ever seeing anything like that before, such a big difference between these indices. And it's all led by mega cap tech. If you look at some of these tech companies, it doesn't even look like there's anything wrong at all with anything anywhere. Apple looks fantastic. It's digesting above 150. It looks like it's set to try to make a go for the 155 to 156 resistance breakout area at some point soon. Microsoft broke out today, or really broke out yesterday, gave continuation of the breakout today. It's like 3 big up days in a row. Microsoft's extended to the upside. 266 today. Phenomenal. Meta, phenomenal. Testing breakout from the post-earnings move here. It's really hard to not like this Meta. I just didn't want to chase it today. I felt you really needed to buy it a couple trading sessions ago. Amazon, did we get to close above 95 in Amazon? We did. 95 resistance in Amazon. We got to close above it. The market can hold up. Amazon is finally starting to look a little bit better. Google also closing above resistance. Amazon and Google have been weaker ones. These names are finally starting to look a little bit better. If the market can continue to be supportive for these stocks, your next spot to pay attention to for them is $100. So that's really impressive. Tesla, a little bit weaker, which we kind of called for that. I've been looking for a short, maybe on a bounce back. I think I mentioned this yesterday, the day before yesterday. I bounced back to like the 182 to 186 area. Pre-market, it was almost at 186. I never got short the stock, but it never was able to recover nearly as well as a lot of these other tech names. AMD, forget about it. $88, breakout, gone, super, super strong. What banking crisis? NVIDIA above 240, looks incredible. I mean, it's just like tale of two markets. You want to see the other market? Look at this XLF, financials, destroyed. decent little bottoming tail in XLF. I still have a very strong thesis that these big banks are going to be big beneficiaries of all of this, provided that there's no major, CS blow up that leads to contagion to other banks, which would probably take down everything, which I don't think would be the case. I think, and I saw some analysts mention this earlier, and I agreed with it. I think that the banks have been paying attention to CS for a while now. CS has been in trouble for quite some time. I don't think that this is like a new surprise all of a sudden that's happening. And again, what do we see? Bank of America this morning, as of this morning, got in $15 billion of new deposits over the last couple of days. It's insane. So BAC is one that I'm in. It was relatively strong today, even though it's been relatively weak in the past couple of days to some of those other ones. So we'll continue to monitor that. Meanwhile, KRE was down less than XLF today, which is interesting, though obviously this KRE sold off significantly more. Schwab was able to be positive today. I know some people were looking at that. I would still be careful with all of these names. Where is the $15 billion in deposits that Bank of America has received? And guess what? I assume you can multiply that number when you add on, JP Morgan and all the other banks. Where is that all coming from? It's coming from these KRE names. That's where it's coming from. People pulling their money out of these things and pulling them into that. So the KRE names still kind of scare me generally. The XLF names I like a lot. So I think that is some big picture stuff here for the market that we can kind of continue to pay attention to. On the small picture, I guess worth mentioning real quick, the intraday. This morning was a little bit tricky, and for me, having a bull thesis helped me to really stick to the long side of the market, because again, you look at the Qs, you look at the SPYs, you look at the IWM, they're all giving different messages this morning. So I had to combine that with my thesis to give me the bullish sentiment that I came into today with, that, once again, and has for the last few days, helped me to have some pretty profitable trading sessions. But the intraday price action today was really sloppy for most of the day. We kept kind of having these false break, first of all, there was so many tails that felt like they were coming in that were big tails consistently on moves. A ton of intraday volatility. But you had the false breakdown coming at 9:55 where we snapped right back up almost to highs. Then we broke down again to new lows around 10:50, but that lasted 7 minutes, and then we snapped back once again almost to highs, but not highs. Then next thing you know, all right, are we going to break up here? We fail. I actually thought that this candle was really important at 11:45 if we could break up and clear this area. We never could do it. Next thing you know, we get new lows again, but for the third time, there's zero real follow-through on these new lows. It's like they're just shaking everybody out, and then bam, you get your snapback. Eventually, we had the CS news start to come out around 2:20 that helped this market to lift off a little bit, especially you look at the Qs here. But the same thing, Qs kind of grinding down. At one point, I was a little bit nervous about Apple weakness coming in. Amazon, when it was getting to its opening low after the strong candle, had me a little bit nervous, but we never got the follow through to the downside. The Qs are very strong, and even this IWM, which has been the weakest ETF, and I'm looking for some mean reversion at a certain point. False breakdowns galore. You almost had your breakdown here. Next thing you know, you're working to highs. You get a breakdown here by a small amount for 5 cents. Back to highs, but can't break out that direction either. This was all very sloppy, choppy price action today. You really had to stick with the concept of relative strength to go after the right names. Meta was a little difficult at certain points, but was strong. Microsoft was one of the better ones to kind of be involved in. I thought that as a team we worked, and there was great communication behind Bank of America today. I was trading it. A bunch of us were trading it. We're recognizing that relative strength. I think I bought $28 and sold 28.25 8 times today. Just kept announcing I just reloaded some BAC. I just kicked my reload. It's basically just kind of working that 25-cent increment, and I think I got that kick, that rebuy kick, 8 different times today, which is pretty nice. So I guess with that said, I will end the afternoon meeting today without any questions. Just gave everybody a little bit of an overview. I hope everyone tunes over into that chat with the pro trader thing that T3 has been working on through LinkedIn. Dan Darrow's the guest today. Looks like Noah just posted the link to that. So Have a fantastic night, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow.